Good morning. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning here. The temperature is about 3,047 degrees. We're just doing a little photography on the surface of the sun today, or as the locals will call it here, it's the state park of Chewacla in Auburn, Alabama. I have been here about 3 times doing some photography, but it's been mostly focused at the waterfall here. That's one of the main features of the park. It's a man-made waterfall where it's basically some runoff of the Chewacla Lake that goes into this this river here. I don't know if it's called the Chewacla River or Chewacla Creek, but it meanders pretty much all the way through the park and onto sights unknown through the Auburn area here. So that's going to be one of the focuses of my shooting here today. Will be the Chewacla waterfall, but there's 2 ways to get to either side of it. Well, there's actually 3 ways. On the Chewacla waterfall itself, you can actually go along the rocks, but with my my pack and there is a lot of water that is, even though we haven't had rain for a couple of days, there's still some a pretty good water flow, so I didn't want a chance trying to go over the wet rocks to get to the other side where I'm going to focus the majority of my shooting today, because the falls will be where I'll start, and then there's on the other side where I first came in, there's another hiking trail there that follows right along with the little river here itself, and there's several other water features going over some rocks that I think will be quite interesting to shoot today. But with this site right here, so I told you there was 3 ways actually to go see the falls. One way is going down through the main entrance of the park, through the road, the first little parking area. I believe it's part of a campground too there, and that will take you down to the far side of the falls. That's obviously where we're going to start the trail. But if you go all the way around to another pavilion, it puts you on the other side of the waterfall, and I actually went down that, and it's where I've done some shooting before, and I have to say I am really impressed with the cleanliness of the park, the maintenance of the park, but unfortunately the park staff can only do so much. It does require that we do our bit about it too, and as much as I try, and pretty successful, I leave no evidence, only footprints. So while I was there, I did notice there was quite a bit of trash. I did my fair share of it. I found lots of water bottles that I'll actually attach a couple of pictures to that I took. But I gathered up as many water bottles as I could carry, because it is a steep climb to go back up to the parking lot. There was some empty looked like fruit cartons, wrappers, stuff. So I gathered up as much as I could and disposed of it in the proper place. So all I can say is, please people, when you go visit any of your parks, don't leave your trash behind. You can take it with you, and there are plenty of trash receptacles, at least around this park. It just takes a little bit more effort. And I know that's just a small portion of the people that come to these parks, and I just believe in that, and I hope that belief is true. So anyways, with the shooting today, so you go across this bridge to get to either of the areas where you can have access to the waterfall itself. And coming back from the one side where I picked up all the trash, yeah, you come across this bridge. So I figured I stopped at a trailhead a little further up here and wanted to come back, and I kind of scouted out this bridge, and I actually found a couple of areas that I want to shoot. So my first shot is going to be going underneath this first arch of the bridge. There's a sandbar back there, and as the river goes around, and I'm going to get a really good reflection of the water in this. I am really just waiting out for some more sun to come out, because it will give me more reflection on this arch of the river. Morning. The park is well used. They have campgrounds here. There is quite extensive trails for mountain biking. Some of them are pretty technical, so it should be a very interesting day. So I'm just going to wait around here a little bit and get everything set up, and then I'll start shooting this. The water is impeccably clear in this, at least this part of it right here. I don't know if the camera is going to show it, but I can see almost to the bottom on this side of it, and I see a lot of small bass. There are some brim or crappie. I don't really know the difference between those kind of fish there. And it looks like yeah, I can see I don't know if you can see that, but that right there is about an 8-inch bass there. He's got the black stripe going down there, so I don't know if that's a rock bass, a largemouth bass, smallmouth bass. I just consider him a bass. So I haven't seen anybody doing any fishing here, but it probably would be pretty successful. Nice day. So, onward and upward. Okay, for my first shot here, I'm taking, again, the archway of this, the bridge right here. Like I said, I'm just waiting for the sun to come out, because it does show like a murky, it shows a murky image here as the water fades into almost like a dark green color, and then you've got the archway, and then the foliage on the other side is reflecting into the archway that's reflecting into the water. I've got a base exposure of f11, 40th of a second. I'm using a polarizer, and it's just to minimize a little bit of the harsh reflections that are in the water, because I want to be able to capture the entire reflection. So I'm going to do a couple of shots with this, keeping everything in the same settings here, and to making sure that nothing is changing in this. I've got everything in manual, so my exposure and the only thing that should be changing will be the focus, because my initial shot is going to be underneath the bridge, and that's going to reach out to that sandbar that's on the other side of the bridge here through that opening. And then I'll follow it up with two other exposures, of one on the side of the bridge itself, and then I will get close to the ground here, and then I'll merge those together as a focus stack. But as far as the exposure, it's going to all be the same, so that'll make it easier with the stacking. So for the first one, it's going to be underneath the bridge and right through it. So I'm going to set my timer for a 2-second timer. I did not bring a remote with me, so we compensate by using the timer that we have inside. So we got that set, And well, now I just lost my light. There's one thing good about coming out to these locations like this to do shooting, and I have to say one of the reasons why I love doing landscape and nature photography is that if you don't like the scene because Mother Nature is clouded over or something like that, just give her a few minutes and let the sun come back out. There's luckily not too many clouds in the sky today, so I shouldn't have to wait too long. Oh. So now I'm going to go ahead and take my first shot. We've got some good sun coming out here. Check my exposure. We're still at 1/40th of a second. Lock focus. First shot, looking at the histogram on that, it looks really good. So now I'm going to go ahead and take it up to an area, and this is going to be at the top of the arch. Now I'm going to take it down into the water area. I'm going to take it off to the left here because I'm actually focusing on the reflection that's in the water towards the arch that's in the water, and that's going to be my third shot there. And it looks perfect. It looks like I've got a lot of detail, even with f11. F11 is pretty much one of the sweet spots of this Sigma lens. I would say between f8 and f11, which is the way it is for pretty much a lot of the lenses. I'm able to capture a lot of detail in this. But I always prefer the focus stacking because it gives you a lot of options for blending within Photoshop if you find that you're lacking detail in one area of the photograph. So that one is complete. It looks good. Onward to the next one. Okay, I've got set up on my second shot here. So from this angle, it looks like I am getting a really good shot of this this bridge here. I've got this at about, say, I've got this at about 17 millimeters. My initial shot, it's showing that I have no clipping in the, I've got no clipping in the histogram. I'm getting basically from one side of the bridge to the other. I'm using a circular polarizer, but I'm using that for the foliage in the back. The water is perfectly clear, clear, you know, down to, I'd say at least a good 3 feet. So we're going to go ahead and set this on a 2-second timer. We'll go for the first one. Looking at the test shot, I've got it set for 1/30th of a second, f11, ISO. I'm going to correct that. So with the circular polarizer adjusted to bring out some of the green and the foliage that would be seen from the top of the bridge, I'm getting a full reflection in the water. Going to make a test shot at 1/4 of a second, f11, a 2-second timer. And we're going to go ahead and view that. And it looks good. Just so I can capture everything that I want to do for this, and I am looking at, because of the detail in this, I'm going to try to do a HDR on this. So with that initial shot, what I'm going to do is, using just the shutter speed, I'm going to go ahead and do 2 shots over. I normally could do like a 3-shot where you do 2 f-stops over, 2 f-stops under. But what I like to do, just so you actually are getting the detail and the exposure that you want, when I do an HDR, I usually use a spread of 5 shots. The first shot will be obviously the 1 metered. That's going to set your preferences for what you consider the middle of the road. And then I'm going to do, instead of just 3 where you're doing 2 f-stops under and 2 stops over, I'm going to do 1 stop under for each one. So I'm going to do 2 shots for the overexposure, 2 shots for the underexposure. And I find that it gives you a lot of room to play with, and you can pick and choose as you fit to bring out the image that you want to capture. We completed the little excursion there with that bridge that had the road go over it. There were so many different picture opportunities there, but I wanted to get my way over here to the lake side of Chewacla and continue on to the waterfall. So as I stated before, this is a man-made waterfall. The lake is probably, when you're down where the waterfall is, the bottom part of the waterfall is probably about maybe 15, 20 feet, somewhere along that. It's not a very big one, but it does make a nice water feature there. And I plan on shooting that. And there's a trail that parallels that waterway there, whether it's a creek or a stream. I don't know. There is a name for it. Like I said, I'll post it into the video. I'm going to follow along that trail to also shoot some additional water features there to complete the day out. So with that, onward and upward, we're going to take this trail. This trail will follow the lake all the way around to the waterfall. So this is where we start in our journey. I'll start the trail here. This is right off that little bit of trail that came from the parking lot. Where we're heading is going all the way around the lake, and then we'll wind up right there where you see like the shadows coming in. That is right there where the waterfall starts. So like I said, it's a spillway for this lake, and it goes down a nice rock feature there that it does form a waterfall, and it's, like I said, one of the main attractions here at Chewacla Park. So you see behind me, we've made it to Chewacla Falls. I don't know if the falls are drowning out my microphone, but we'll give it the best we've got. So I plan on taking several shots of the waterfall, and then I'm going to step it up, and along this path that the water is flowing, there's more like I said, waterworks back there going over several rock formations. I'll plan on taking it probably about another half a mile down that hike to shoot some more of these water effects. We're lucky, just a few people are here, so I'm hoping to get some good shots out of this. I'm using an ND 8 and an ND 16 filter that will try to smooth out some of this water to make it feather smooth. So, well, we'll see what we get. I decided to take a break. So I just climbed up, climbed down to the falls, did several shots there, climbed along the rocks, did some more shooting there along the rocks. Lost my reading glasses. So someday some guy or somebody's going to find a nice pair of reading glasses, but luckily I've got spares. So anyways, decided to take a break, get some water, and get some energy. Just going to take a fast look at some of the shots we got. I think they're really good. Let's see, some good old ice clear water, not iced, and got some trail mix and some crackers. That'll tide me over until we head on back to the car. I want to point out that so far, everything that I've seen today along the trail, where there are boardwalks, where there is signage, I commend the people that are working here in Chewacla, they're volunteers, whichever, to keep this park up for everybody. I salute you. You've done a great job. This is some state-of-the-art stuff here. It's called Great Value Trail Mix. And then we've got, of course, the old standby Lance toasted cheese. Not cheese, but cheese. Spicy cheddar. So that should be good. I thank my daughter Melanie for fixing me up with these hiking little snacks. It's a beautiful day here in Auburn, Alabama. War Eagle. So I started out here about 10 o'clock today, and I was on the other side of the little creek stream that they have here that comes down from the waterfall. Waterfall's way, it kind of curves back over that way. I've climbed up there. This is the first flat ground that I've seen in about a half an hour. So it's very rocky. Inclines are very steep, you know, on these trails, but they are doable. So anyways, I came up through there, and then this water continues to go down there, and I'm going to try maybe another mile going that way and see if there's any more water features I can shoot, and then if not, it is 2:47 right now, so yeah, I give it about another hour or so, and then I'll start heading back, call it a day. But I do think we got some good shots. This trail mix is pretty good. Just to let you know, Chewacla has a pretty extensive campground. They have places for RVs and trailers, and I understand they also do what they consider primitive camping. So I imagine that is people that are using, you know, hiking tents, you know, or small packable tents. I don't know what their rules or laws are as far as open fires. It's kind of a give and take type of thing here in a lot of places in Alabama. It depends on how wet and how dry it is. But it's probably close to 90 degrees today, so not too many people out, but it's a beautiful day to enjoy it. I don't mind the heat. I come out and enjoy it, sweat, enjoy it some more. To me, it beats the cold. But there are several people that are down along the waterway. I caught walked by a couple of young guys that were out there fishing along the rocks, and there are several people that are enjoying the water. They're in, bathing suits, and they're growing along the rocks in the water, enjoying that. I don't know what the temperature of the water is. I haven't gotten into it, but I figure if it's close to 90 degrees today, the water is probably a very nice chilling effect. So, a good day.